Hey guys, I'm Arctic Fox, and there's still a ton of time left in the season of arrivals. Today, I'm going to highlight the 5 best weapons to get from the Umbral Engrams. Note, this is not in any specific order. So let's start with Gnawing Hunger. This is an updated weapon from Gambit. It's a 600 RPM Void Energy auto rifle. The 600s are currently the best auto rifle in the game. You can grind for this weapon through the lead focused Umbral Engram. Now let's look at the roles. The first slot you're going to want fluted barrel, that way you have the extra stability and handling. Then you're going to want appended mag or tac mag to give you additional magazine capacity. Subsistence will allow you to shred through red bars without having to reload, and it's going to pull ammo from your reserves, and you also lose a little bit in reserves. But being able to shred through the red bars without having to reload is a major benefit. The last slot you're going to want Rampage so you can do increased damage. Then for your masterwork you're going to want Range. Being able to stack Subsistence and Rampage is absolutely nutty. You can see in the background gameplay how we are tearing through red bars without even reloading. Let's move on to the Falling Guillotine. This is one of the most OP swords in this entire game. It's a vortex frame that does an ungodly amount of damage and shreds through bosses in no time. You can grab this from the Arrival focused Umbral Engram at the Prismatic Recaster. Let's look at the rolls. You almost can't even get a bad roll. In the first slot, it doesn't really matter. You can either get Honed, Jagged, or Tempered Edge, then followed by Burst, Swordmaster, or Heavy Guard are all fine. Here's where I'm going to be a little pickier. In the third slot, I'm going to want Relentless Strikes. This is ideal as you receive power ammo back for doing 3 light attacks, but you'll be fine with Tireless Blade as well. You'll just get ammo back for every other power kill. Now, if you're looking to do boss damage, Relentless Strikes is the way to go. In the fourth slot, you're gonna want Whirlwind Blade, because you get an increased damage for rapid strikes, so using this on a boss is ideal. Also, try to get surrounded on this as well, so you can take care of adds with the addition of higher damage if you're trying to switch back and forth in the middle of gameplay. And finally, you're going to want Impact for your masterwork to deal an increased amount of damage. The third weapon we're going to talk about is the Iclose Smg version 1.0.2. This is a 750 RPM arc energy SMG that is capable of creating Warmind cells. Now, before you say, whoa, I hate anything and everything with Warmind cells in last season, now just hear me out. Warmind cells are secretly OP. These things absolutely shred all mobs in one shot. If you're not using the global reach mod, then I really strongly advise you to try it out. I mean, what do you really have to lose other than finding a new addiction in Destiny 2? You can grab this in the Worthy focused Umbral Engram. So let's look at the roles. In the first slot, you're going to want Polygonal or Corkscrew Rifling, and this is going to add stability. In your second slot, you're going to want Tac Mag or Seraph Rounds. Now, keep in mind that Seraph Rounds have a hidden damage perk that's not highlighted when you hover over it. In your third slot, you're going to want Threat Detector. Since SMGs are a mid to close range weapon, this will give you a buff to reload speed, handling, and stability. And then in your fourth slot, you're going to want Surrounded or Demolitionist to add that extra damage or grenade energy back. Then for your masterwork, you're going to want Range. And again, since this is an SMG, they tend to have pretty trash range, but this one actually seems to be much higher than the others in the same class. The fourth weapon that we're going to talk about is the 7th Seraph VY7. Oh look, here's another SMG that makes Warmind cells. Don't judge me. Warmind cells are cracked and I can't help it. This is a 600 RPM arc SMG. This is found in the Worthy focused Umbral Engram. In the first slot on this one, we're going to look at adding stability to this. So you're going to want Fluted Barrel, Small Bore, or Polygonal Rifling. Then in your second slot, you're going to want Tac Mag or Appended Mag. Either one is fine, as long as you increase the size of your magazine. In your third slot, you're going to want 4 times the charm. Dealing precision damage will return 2 rounds to your magazine. In your fourth slot, you're going to want Dragonfly. Precision kills deal elemental explosive damage. And then for your masterwork, you're going to want Handling. Now keep in mind, this weapon requires much more precision than the Iclose Smg. So if you are not much of a precision gamer, I would suggest that you go towards the Iclose Smg over the 7th Seraph Smg. The final weapon I'm going to talk about is Breachlight. This is a kinetic 325 RPM sidearm that has a 2-round burst that shreds through red bars. The range on this is actually pretty good, and if you tie that in with Charged with Light builds for sidearms, this can actually be a pretty nutty weapon. You can find this in the Dawn-focused Umbral Engram. So again, let's look at the rolls. In your first slot, you're going to want a Fluted Barrel or Small Bore for the extra stability. In your second slot, you're going to want Accurized Rounds and Tac Mag for increased magazine or range. Now, the third and fourth slots can be 2 different things based on what you're really trying to do with this weapon, and that's where this weapon shines. You can have either a grenade build or an ad clearing build. So if you're going to do the grenade build in your third slot, you're going to want Demolitionist, which restores grenade energy and refills your weapons from reserves, while in your fourth slot, you're going to want Rampage, which is going to deal increased damage. Then if you're going to do the ad clearing, you're going to want Outlaw Multi-Kill Clip, the traditional god roll, which will decrease reload speed and increase damage. And since this is a sidearm, you're obviously going to want a range masterwork. Now remember, this list was not in any order and is just my opinion. And I would like to hear what your guys' opinions are out of all of the Umbral Engram weapons that you can obtain. What 5 are your guys' favorites? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you would like to see more Destiny 2 content like this, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like as it helps out my channel tremendously. If you have any questions over this or any Destiny 2 content, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at ArcticFoxGaming. The link is in the description below. Until next time, Guardians, stay frosty.